Welcome to Task 3. We will now learn how to create vectors using Figma tools, which will act as background images that add to the visual aesthetics of our website. By the end of this task, you will have created this. A vector is nothing but a graphical or digital image that is made using a combination of lines and shapes. So each of these colored shapes you see here are all vectors. One of the most useful advantages of Figma is the ease with which it allows us to create vectors. For this, we make use of our pen tool. The vector we will be creating first is this orange-yellow abstract shape filled with gradient colors. For your convenience, I have prepared a color palette as a PNG image in Adobe. To access it, click on Shapes tool and choose Place Image option. This will open a file explorer. Go to Desktop, My Project, Task 3, and choose colorpalette.png. Click on Open. Place it on one corner and click on Zoom to fit. The color rectangles on the left are for abstract shapes, and the two squares on the right are one for the text and the other for the logo. We will now move on towards creating our first vector by following 3 easy steps. Step 1. Creating vector base. Zoom to 50% and use the hand tool to move our focus to the left side of our home screen. Choose the pen tool and click on a point at the top left vertical edge of our home screen. And while pressing the Shift key on your keyboard, move the mouse for a distance. This ensures that our lines are straight, and click again to make a line segment. While clicking Shift, continue making line segments until you reach the bottom edge of the rectangle. Do not stop here. While pressing Shift, continue going left to make the base of our shape. Make some more line segments the same way we did earlier until you reach the left edge of our home screen. Link the last line segment to the starting point of our frame. Click on that point and release the Shift key. There you go. We have created the outline of our vector. All we need to do next is the curves and add color. Step 2. Create the curves on our outline. Navigate to the toolbar and choose the Bend tool. This will allow us to modify any lines into curves. Once a tool has been chosen, move your mouse cursor onto the first line segment until you find the bend symbol now show up next to the cursor. Now click on the line segment and drag it outwards or inwards until you see a curve formed. Continue this process in alternate directions until the set of line segments resemble a snake-like curve. Note that you don't necessarily have to make it symmetrical, as we intend to create abstract shapes. The irregularity is part of it. Step 3. Add color. We add color to it by choosing the Paint Bucket tool from the toolbar. Then click inside our vector and you'll see it getting filled with a gray color, which is the default color. Click on Done and use the hand tool to make sure that the palette is now fully visible. Go back to the Move tool, double-click on our vector, and move to the Fill section of our design panel. Click on the color box, choose Linear, choose the first box, and choose the color of the first box to be the color from our palette. Similarly, the second box to be the second color from our palette. Zoom to fit. Move the color picker and realign the linear gradient line in any angle you prefer. Close the color picker. You will see that it has a default border. To remove that, click on the vector. Click on the minus sign next to the stroke. Congratulations, you have now created your first vector. For the rest of them, move the vector to another area so that it's easily manipulatable. Use the hand tool to get some more space for manipulation. Go back to the Move tool. Click on our vector. Copy using Ctrl+C and paste using Ctrl+V. Do this 4 times so that we have a total of 5 vectors. Once you see all those vectors in your Layers panel, drag and align them in the same order, starting from 5 4, 3, 2, and 1. We can now add color gradients. Since the first vector is already in its colors, we start from the second vector. Click on the second vector, choose the color picker from the fill section, move the color picker so that it's easily visible, choose the first box, and pick color from the second rectangle of the color palette. Now choose the second box and pick our next color until you see that the gradient is formed. Pause and repeat the same process for each of the other vectors until it looks just like this. Now move the vectors into the home frame by selecting all of them and dragging them slowly to the home frame. You should see that all the vectors are now inside our home frame. Zoom to fit. And now we can start arranging and transforming these vectors. To get an exact idea, we will bring the final goal image into our canvas as reference. Move the palette, click on Choose Image, and choose task3vectors.png and open it. Place it alongside our frames. Arrange them side by side and click on Zoom to fit again until you have this. I will start with the fifth vector. And then the fourth one. Drag and move it. And then the third one. I'm going to rotate this entirely to get a better shape, or rather a different shape. You can scale it. Place it anywhere you want. I've repeated the same process by moving, scaling, and rotating to get this. The only part left is the ellipse or the drops. To add this, go to the shapes and choose the ellipse shape. Place it next to your vectors and give it a width of 80 and a size of 80. Press enter. Once your ellipse is created, go to the fill section. Choose linear and choose the colors purple and blue. There you go. Repeat the same process for 2 more ellipses with size 30 by 30 and colors purple and orange respectively, and it should look something like this. What's left is to create the vectors within the About page. For this, copy one of the vectors in Home, paste it using Ctrl V, and move it close to our About vectors. Use the hand tool again to get some space and start manipulating. Choose the Move tool, move it, double-click on it, and move the vertices such that it looks almost as similar to these abstract shapes. Once the vertices look good enough, use the Bend tool to start bending the edges. I've bended and moved the vertices to make it look as closely as possible. Remember that it isn't easy to replicate and reproduce the same abstract shapes as I've created, so let your creativity flow and bend and move the vertices as you please. Now, copy and paste the 2 ellipses we created earlier. Ctrl V and move them. Take the small one as well. Ctrl V and move them. Position them however you want, and now let's change the colors. The first color would be the last box from the color palette. Similarly, choose the next color for the second box. Change up the angles. Now let's group them. Grouping as in we are going to make all the three entities into a single component by highlighting them. Right click, group selection. You will see in the panel that they are now called as group 1. Copy this group and paste it below. Rotate and flip it to create the second vector of our about page. The resultant about vectors look like this, and all we have to do is move them back to our page and resize them. Since icons are also basically vectors, all that's left to add are the icons in the contact us page. To do this, go to place image, choose icon location, icon mail and icon phone by pressing shift, open them and click anywhere on the canvas 3 times. Drag and place each of them into the boxes. For our logo, click on the small red ellipse, copy paste it, and place it on each of our menu bar. Place one in the footer as well with size 100 by 100, and we're done. You have now successfully created the background vectors necessary and can move on to your next task where you will add the remaining bits of the screen designs.